The countdown is on for Congress. Federal unemployment benefits are set to expire this week, and a lot of you are wondering what's next. Well, today on Capitol Hill, lawmakers are drafting a plan that would include more money and assistance, and many of you have questions about how much money you might receive and who will benefit this time around. This viewer wants to know, if another stimulus check is distributed, will I get the money from my dependents this time if I didn't get it the first time? Well, that's still unclear. Without a final bill in place, the plan presented by Democrats in the House earlier this year called for nearly identical qualifications as the first round of payments. But there's one key difference. A maximum of 3 dependents, regardless of age, would also get $1,200. So that might help you out a bit, depending on the reason. We are still waiting to hear from Republicans on that one. And another viewer tweeted, so if you're 18 and 23 years old, you don't get the stimulus check? Well, the last time around, no, that age group was left out of the relief package if your parents can claim you as a dependent, but that would change if this new package is a bit broader, covering more people. Also, a lot of people want to know, how quickly will we get the next stimulus check? Well, if another round of checks is approved, it could take at least 3 weeks. That's how long it took the IRS to send out payments the last time. Now, Congress has until August 7th to pass a bill before lawmakers go on their recess until September. They do have a lot to sort through right now, including that $600 a week federal unemployment benefit.